Can you hear me, Sharon? Yeah, okay. So soften the skin at the surface of your body. And then under the skin, the superficial fascia. And under that, the connective tissue that surrounds all the muscles, tendons, ligaments, bones. The muscles are 40% connective tissue. So just observe your whole body, musculoskeletal system. The bones, let the bones be heavy and let the flesh release its grip on the bones and on the skin and with each other and so on. So that you become like instead of a dry, hard sponge, a juicy, pliable, wet, flexible, plump sponge. So let the energy flow, the prana, the bioelectric magnetic energy that moves everything in the body. Let the lymph flow. Rasa in Sanskrit is juice, life, the joy of life. The blood, rakta in Sanskrit. And the nervous system energy, which is the prana. And just let your awareness, consciousness, follow that sensation in your body of flow and movement and being alive and vital. Ojas is the natural immunity in the body, residing in the bone marrow. Tejas is the aura, the brilliance. That's the sort of the life force, but prana also is a term for the life force. Feeling your vitality. And then we'll do little somatics to help relax the body a little bit further. So the lazy ragdoll method, turn one leg out so the knee bends a little and just slide the knee up and then tilt the knee up and let that knee fall in towards the other leg. Let that leg roll to the outer leg, slide that knee up and then lift both the knees up. And you can rock a little bit back and forth on your sacrum and feel that, the leveling of your sacrum as you roll back and forth a little bit. Adjust your feet a comfortable distance from each other and from your buttocks, and arms are a comfortable distance from your body. We'll do arch and release, flatten and release, and arch and flatten, just 3 of each. So as you inhale, find your lower back muscles and lift that up. So you lift the top of your sacrum and you roll towards the bottom of your sacrum and tailbone and sitting bones, like a rolling pin, rolling your pelvis forward. Press the sitting bones and tailbone down. Forward means the front of your hips roll towards your thighs, towards the front of your body. And then slowly release all the engagement of your back. Don't engage the front, just release the back. And slowly, slowly releasing so you can really feel the release, come to neutral and observe how neutral has changed. Neutral means little to no effort, right? So the only effort is holding the legs up maybe a little bit. So we'll do that again. And you can take as many breaths as you need to. Don't hold your breath. So as you inhale, engage your lower back muscles just above your sacrum. And then roll the top of your sacrum up off the mat, roll toward the bottom of your sacrum and your tailbone and your sitting bones, press those down. Feel how your back ribs are lifting off the mat, the lower back ribs, and the back of the neck is lengthening a little bit. And then slowly release the engagement of the back, no engagement of the front, just a slow, controlled release to come back to neutral and observe neutral. And you should be feeling more and more skin and flesh of the back of the body touching the mat. And we'll do that one more time. Engage the lower back muscles just above the top of your hips and lift the top of the hips and roll towards the bottom of the hips. Tailbone, sitting bone, press down. Lower back ribs, go ahead and lift them even a little more and observe how the back of the neck lengthens. Now draw your shoulder blades down your back towards your hips along the mat, and observe how that engages your upper back as well. And then slowly release all that engagement and come back to neutral and observe neutral. And then bring your arms a little closer to your sides. I might sneeze. It's just allergies. Oh, excuse me. I should have warned you that it's a very loud sneeze. Okay. Now we'll roll back towards flatten. So the top of the hips rolls back. So take an inhale to prepare. As you exhale, sink your waist. Don't puff it out. Draw it down like the center of a blender towards the spine and release what's holding on in the back. Don't engage the buttocks or push into the feet, but just release what's holding on in the buttocks and the back of the thighs and allow the sitting bones to roll up and press the lower back down just above the sacrum area, top of the hips. And then slowly release the engagement of the front. Don't engage the back, just release what's holding on in the front and smoothly smooth out that release. Come back to neutral and observe how neutral has changed again. You're probably feeling a little more curve in your spine because we're releasing the front. And once again, inhale to prepare. And as you exhale, sink your lower belly down towards your spine. Observe how the knees also pull in a little when you do that. Even the frontal hip points pull in a little towards each other. And the hips roll backwards. Sitting bones, tailbone curl up, pressing the lower back down in the top of the sacrum area. Find your belly button area. Keep breathing and sink there as well. So you can feel more of your middle back coming towards the mat. And you'll feel your shoulders lift up off the floor towards the ceiling, and then the head tip back a little bit, chin lifts up a little bit, just by the engagement of the front body and letting go of what's holding on in the back. And then slowly release that engagement and come back to neutral, not to engage the back, just to release the front and observe what other muscles got involved there. And we'll do that one more time. Take an inhale to prepare. And then as you exhale, sink the lower belly down. So you hollow it out, knees fall in, hips roll back, sitting bones, tailbone curl up, pressing the lower back down, sink the middle of the waist down. Now find the lower front ribs again and really sink those down towards the lower back ribs and towards the pubic bone. And you'll really feel your shoulders lift off the ground and your head tip back. Let go of what's holding on in the front of the throat and just let the head tip back. And then slowly and smoothly release all that engagement and come back to neutral and observe neutral. And if you need to make any adjustments, you can do that. And then we're going to do arch and flatten back and forth. You can take it to the flower if you like, which is a little more extreme. And we'll take an extra breath and rest in between each movement. So as you inhale, lift your lower back off the mat and roll your pelvis forward like a rolling pin towards your sitting bones and tailbone and press that down. Feel the back muscles engaging, lifting the lower back ribs up. Feel how that helps you lengthen the back of the neck. Draw the shoulder blades down the back and observe how that starts to raise the arms up towards the shoulders on the floor and turn them into external rotation. I mean, the elbows want to lift up off the mat and turn towards the wall behind you. And then slowly and smoothly release all that engagement and come to neutral and just observe all the parts that got involved. Now bring your arms a little closer to your sides for flatten. And this is the bud of the flower. It gets tight, right? So take an inhale. As you exhale, let your hips roll back, sink your waist. Sitting bones, tailbone, curl up. Observe how your knees fall in towards each other. Let them fall all the way in. Sink the middle of your waist down. Feel how your shoulders start to lift up and your head tilts back if you let go of the throat muscles. Right now, find your lower front ribs. Really sink those down. Let your shoulders lift, tailbone curl up, head fall back. Now turn your upper arms in towards your chest, right at the tops of your shoulders. And observe that. And then slowly release. Smoothly release all the front muscles. Don't engage the back. Just come to neutral and observe neutral. And again, inhale, engage your back muscles, roll your pelvis forward, press the sitting bones and tailbone down, let go of the front body, lift the back ribs, let the back of your neck lengthen, chin comes towards the chest. Draw the shoulder blades down and let the elbows lift up and turn towards the back wall and the hands. And gently press the back of your neck down and let your eyes look down towards your chest. And let your jaw be soft and your tongue. And then slowly, smoothly release, come to neutral. Take a breath. Bring your arms down towards your sides more for the bud. That's the flower, the blooming flower. Now the bud, as you exhale, sink your waist down, let your hips roll back, disengage your buttocks and the back of the thighs, sink your middle waist, feel how your shoulders start to lift up. Let your knees fall in towards each other. Now find your lower front ribs and really pull them down towards the ground and towards your pubic bone. That's going to really lift your shoulders up and let your head fall back. Now roll your shoulders actively in towards each other in the front of your chest and take your arms all the way off the ground and turn your arms until the backs of your hands touch the outer thighs. Squeeze the arms, squeeze the legs, and let the head tip back, like you're squeezing two newspapers in between your arms and your side of your body. And then slowly and smoothly release all that and come to neutral. That's the red light reflex, the bud. And we'll do it one more time, green light reflex. Inhale, engage your back, lower back, lift it up, roll the hips forward, press the sitting bones and tailbone down. Let the knees start to come apart so you tip towards the outer edges of your feet. Lift your middle waist, lift your lower back ribs, let the back of the neck lengthen. And then draw the shoulder blades down the back. Let the arms turn all the way into external rotation and gently press the back of your neck down. Let your jaw relax, tongue, teeth, throat, and eyes look towards the chest. And then smoothly, slowly release all that engagement and come back to neutral. Take a breath and bring your arms closer down to your sides for the last red light reflex, the bud. So inhale to prepare, and remember, take as many breaths as you need. We'll take several breaths. Sink your waist down. Let your knees fall in, hips roll back, sitting bones, tailbone curl up. Sink the middle of the waist down. Feel how the shoulders lift, start to lift, and the head tilts back. Now find the lower front ribs and really collapse those down towards the lower back ribs and towards the pubic bone. Let the sitting bones really curl up and the head fall back. Roll the arms in. Roll the arms in until the backs of the hands touch the outer thighs. Squeeze the arms, squeeze the legs, and turtle the back of your neck a little bit in towards the tops of your shoulders. Let your eyes roll up towards your forehead and let your jaw release open and let your tongue just lollygag there. And then smoothly release out of all that contraction. Come back to neutral, reassess neutral. And then go ahead and extend your legs one by one and come to Shavasana, anatomical neutral, and observe and reassess. So you should be able to breathe a little more freely and have more sensation throughout your whole body and feel more soft like that juicy sponge and less dry, hard, and tight like that dried out sponge. So then we're going to do our 3-part breathing, starting with the abdominal breath for 2 minutes, and then we'll do thoracic breath for 2 minutes, then upper chest, upper back breath for 2 minutes, and then we'll do 2 minutes of 3 parts of the breath using the breathing app. So we'll come up to bent knee with that lazy ragdoll method again. Try the opposite leg. Roll that leg out, bending the knee slightly. Draw the knee up. The foot just comes with it. Tilt the knee up. Let it fall towards the other leg. Roll towards that outer leg and hip. And slide that knee up. And then tilt both the knees up. And roll back and forth a little bit on the sacrum, side to side, rather. And observe the sacrum. And then find a comfortable position. So we do this with the knees bent, but if it's more comfortable for you to straighten the legs or use a bolster, that's fine too. And you can have support under your head. Okay, So now bend your elbows up one by one and bring your hands on your abdomen. So your upper abdomen above your belly button. So your thumbs rest on your lower front ribs. And you can take off your watch if you have a watch on. You can take off your glasses. Yeah. And spread your hands and soften your hands. So the hand chakras are called Hasta chakra. They're minor chakras. Scoot down a little, Natalie, so your head's on the mat. And maybe take a little thin blanket under your head and neck, just so you have, and roll the blanket up. So keep it flat. And then, so you're just gonna, I'll show you just a little. Now go ahead. Wait, let's get your mat. Okay. Maybe you need less. Okay, try that. So just so the neck has something to touch, it will relax, right? A little bit more. So when you bend your elbows, let your elbows go wide. Yeah, and hands separate from each other. Yeah, that's it. So you can really, and then soften the skin of your hands and really sensitize your hands. So it's very soothing, self-soothing practice. Okay, and then as you inhale, you'll observe how your abdomen rises. And as you exhale, how the abdomen falls. And we'll do this for 2 minutes. Let me just check all my hookups. So as you inhale, the abdomen rises, and as you exhale, so that's because the diaphragm is moving. As you inhale, the diaphragm moves down and spreads out like a lake in all directions. That's an engagement. And then as you exhale, the diaphragm releases back up under the ribs. And that's in its neutral position. Okay, so the diaphragm is our breathing muscle. It's always moving because we're always breathing, right? So you're just observing this natural breath. Inhale, the belly moves out as the diaphragm moves down, and the lower ribs also flare like the wings of a bird. And as you exhale, you just softly release that like we do in somatics. So we're going to be inhaling for 5 seconds and exhaling for 5 seconds, regulating the breath, which is resonance breathing, which turns on the parasympathetic aspect of the nervous system, taking us out of fight, flight, freeze, and into rest, digest, and ease. And so there's a little moment where the nervous system might get startled by having to control the breath, but once you slow the breath, that stimulates the relaxation response. Let's see how the sound is. Okay, gotta turn that up. Got it? Too loud? It's okay. Okay. Good for you guys? So I'm going to start it again, but just so you know, you inhale as the tone rises. So this is the rising tone. And then you exhale as the tone falls. So that's the falling tone. And regulate your breath so it matches the tone. Okay, so we'll start over. Go ahead and exhale. And then we'll begin. And this is the inhale. Exhale, that's the release. Slow go ahead and extend your arms out to the side and let go of the conditioning of your breath and just observe your natural breath. You can keep your knees bent, or if you need to straighten your legs out in between, you can always do that. So that's up to you. So the second part of the breath, so the diaphragm is always moving and breathing, and so the abdominal breath is where the bigger portion of the lungs are and the most important part of the breath. And then the second most important part is the thoracic breathing or intercostal breathing. That's the name of the muscles that move the ribs. So as you inhale, the ribs widen out to the side, and as you exhale, they release back in towards the center and in towards each other. And this is all happening 360 degrees, front, side, and back. So in order to sense and feel this, bring your hands on your ribs, a little higher up towards your brow line area, and slide the heels of the hand a little bit out so your elbows go a little broader. See if you can rest the heels of the hands on the side ribs. Or, if you want to feel this even more, turn your thumbs down towards the mat and wrap the webbing between your index finger and thumb around the sides of your ribs. Right? And then relax your hands and fingers. Give a little squeeze in with your hands, and then as you inhale, observe how the ribs move out into your hands, and as you exhale, observe how the ribs move in. And you don't have to engage the intercostals to pull them in. You can just release the ones that you used to breathe in. So when you inhale, there's a set of intercostals that pull the ribs apart, and at the end of the exhale, if you're really exhaling all the air out, you might engage those intercostals that pull it in, right? But for the most part, it's just a release, okay? So go ahead and exhale, and then we'll begin. Inhale, observe the widening of your ribs. Exhale, observe how the ribs come in towards the spine and towards each other. Diaphragm is still moving. Inhale, observe the ribs widening. Exhale, the belly is always moving too. That's always going to happen. Just focusing on this thoracic breath. Try to match it to the tone. Slow it down. And it doesn't have to be a complete breath, right? It's just a relaxed breath. So inhale slowly. Exhale slowly, easily, peacefully. Inhaling for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhaling for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Feel this 360 degrees. Can you feel your back touching the mat also? Slow down the exhale like a slow, controlled release. Inhale, like bucket handles moving out to the side and up. Exhale, those bucket handles move down and in. Inhale, smelling something delicious. Make it easy. Slow down the exhale so you don't ruffle that feather under your nose. Inhale. Exhale. Simply matching your breath to the tone. Make it peaceful and easy. Inhale, feel that widening. Front, side, back. Exhale, feel how that comes in. Just paying attention to the thoracic breath. 2 more breaths like this. Okay, and then go ahead and release your arms down. And once again, let go of the conditioning of your breath. Observe your natural breath rhythm. So we're always being breathed by the biosphere. We're part of a larger breathing organism. And so we're inhaling the oxygen from the trees and exhaling the carbon dioxide, and the trees inhale that, and so on and so forth. And everything is breathing, and everything is moving, and everything is alive in the body, outside the body. So just observing this natural breath, not having to make it super deep or full, right? But just regulating the length of the breath is what constitutes resonance breathing. So the last part of the breath, which is the least important, the smallest portion of the lung, but still important, right? It's where when they say take a deep breath at the doctor's office, we puff up the chest. So what we tend to do is hold stale air in this top portion of the lungs, right? And then we breathe very shallowly. So it's important to go ahead and exhale all that air out too. So we'll have 2 hand positions. First one is the sarcophagus. We take your palm on top of the back of your hand and turn your fingers a little out like wings. And then you bring your hands on your sternum, your breastbone, and rest your fingertips on your opposite collarbone. So your elbows aren't going to be on the ground. And so you're just going to relax on the sides of your body, right? And so then you can give a little pressure down to feel your sternum and then feel your collarbones move. Collarbones are attached to the sternum and they move together, right? And your first rib is above your collarbone. And your lungs go all the way up there. And 60% of our lung capacity is in the back of the body. So we're observing the upper back as well here. We'll do 1 minute like this, and then we'll slide the hands down during our 2-minute breath, and bring the hands on the wounds under the collarbones. Elbows can touch the ground, and just let your hands be soft, right? And let your elbows spread out a little. Relax your hands, relax your fingers so you can sensitize your skin. And touch just above your collarbones. Yeah, that's it. So then you can feel how as you inhale, the moons rise under your collarbones, and as you exhale, they deflate. Okay? And that'll be the 2 minutes. So starting with the hands in the sarcophagus position on the sternum. Go ahead and exhale, and then we'll begin. Inhale, just feel how the chest rises. And exhale, feel how the chest falls. Okay? So still you're breathing with your abdomen and ribs, just focusing on your chest. This is the inhale, and this is the exhale. It's a subtle move, right? But as you inhale, you're going to feel the sternum and the collarbones move into your skin and roll up towards your chin a little bit. And as you exhale, that releases back down, like an old-fashioned pump handle. Inhale, it moves out into the skin and up towards the chin. And exhale, it just releases back down and in. Inhale. And exhale. See if you can also feel this in your upper back. Inhale, pushing, you feel that upper back pushing into the mat. And exhale. Now slide your hands down so your elbows touch the ground and you're touching those moons under your collarbones. Exhale, the moons deflate. Inhale, the moons open, expand. Just allow it to happen. You don't have to force it. Let it be slow. That's the main thing. Right? It's going to happen. It's subtle. Feel it in the upper back as well. And slow it down. It's not a full breath. It's a slow breath and an easy breath. Inhale. Exhale. Just regulating the length of the breath. This is taking us towards meditation, right? Regulating the breath. Slow the breath. Make it easy and peaceful. And then go ahead and extend your arms and take a little rest. Let go of the conditioning of your breath. And observe the natural rhythm of your breath. Remember, it's happening naturally. When you get involved, as like with anything we learn it new, we get over involved, right? And we do more than we need to. So just observe your natural breath and let it happen peacefully. It's not, you don't have to get it perfect. You're just observing the natural breath, okay? So now we're doing 3 parts of the breath: belly, ribs, chest, in that same 5-5, right, ratio. So 1 hand on your belly and 1 hand on your chest. And you don't have to be in the middle. So your hands can be towards the side so that your elbows can rest peacefully. So it's super relaxed. Your hands are super relaxed. It's a self-soothing. Also, this is a position in Reiki, which we do for self-soothing. So really soften your hands so you can feel the subtle movement. And just let it be subtle. It doesn't have to be super big, right? We're just slowing down the breath and regulating the breath. Inhaling for 5 seconds, exhaling for 5 seconds. Inhale, belly, ribs, chest, and upper back. Exhale, chest and upper back, ribs and belly. But don't worry too much about how the exhale happens. Just let the exhale be slow and easy and match it to the tone. So go ahead and exhale, and then we'll begin. Inhale. Exhale. your arms come out to your sides. Let go of the conditioning of your breath and observe your natural breath. Go ahead and extend your legs. Come into Shavasana, anatomical neutral, and observe for a few moments. So in order to take us up to sitting, we will do the 5 floor poses of Yoga Sangha. So roll your inner thighs down towards the mat so that you just internally rotate your legs enough so that they're facing the ceiling, the thighs, knees, shins, ankles, tops of the feet. And then bring the legs all the way together. Now bring your arms along your sides and turn your palms down. And go ahead and just raise your arms overhead and see if you're too close to the wall. And if you are, move down a little. And then bring your arms back down to your sides. Okay, and then extend the front of your ankles just a little bit so that you extend the whole front of your leg. And firm all around your kneecaps and press the backs of your knees down, firm the inner knees and the outer knees so that your kneecaps point straight up above and below the knee. And then let your tailbone curl up towards the front of your spine so the top of your pelvis rolls back towards the floor. And as you do this, press the roots of your thighs just below the front of your groin down. And then arms are all the way along your sides, fingers all the way together to create a seal. Firm your elbow joints. That'll lift your elbows off the ground. And then as you exhale, sink your waist, lower belly towards the spine and the sides of the waist, towards the sides of the back body. And you'll feel your tail curl up a little more. And then inhale and raise your straight, strong arms up all the way overhead until the backs of your hands touch the ground, or you can have support under your hands. You can also widen your arms. Go at least shoulder width towards the outer edge of your shoulders. Don't go narrow. Keep your collarbones broad so you can breathe. And roll your armpits and triceps in towards each other so the tops of the shoulder blades broaden. And resist your forearms a little away and make sure you're not locking your wrists. You're just lengthening. And then use your legs to pull your hips down a little bit away from your ribs. And then use your ribs to lift up away from your hips. And that includes your arms so that you get a little more space between your ribs and your hips. And you can hollow your abdomen, Tadagi Mudra. Mudra is a feel or a shape that we breathe into. Tadagi means empty lake. So that refers to the hollowing of your abdomen. So as you inhale, the abdomen rises a little, but as you exhale, allow the abdomen to hollow out and spread on the back body. And let your breaths be long and not overly full, but slow and smooth and easy and steady. Inhaling for 5 seconds and exhaling for 5 seconds. Let your eyes be soft and the jaw and the root of the tongue and the throat and the teeth. Now firm your elbows and knees, arms and legs, curl your tail up, press the roots of the thighs down, and exhale, sink your waist. And as you do so, if you really sink your lower front ribs, you'll feel your shoulder blades draw down your back. And then firm your elbows and knees and inhale, raise your arms up, and exhale, lower your arms down to your sides. And roll your hips back towards flatten and bend one knee, place the foot flat on the mat, roll the hips back even more. Press the lower back down and bend the other knee. So both feet are flat on the mat. Have your feet hip width apart, like toward the outer hips, but not super wide and parallel, close to the buttocks. Turn your palms to face each other and reach with your fingertips. You want to be close enough with your heels so you end up with your knees over your heels, but not so close you can touch your ankles. Now lift one shoulder and roll one shoulder underneath and then the other. Scoot the shoulder blades together over your spine. Press the outer edge of your arm down, including your pinky side of your hand, but especially up by your deltoids, the tops of your upper arms. Press down there and lift the armpit chest up. Let the skin on the front of your body be soft. Feel the curve in your whole spine, a low curve. As you exhale, draw your lower belly toward your spine and let your hips roll back towards flatten, curling your sitting bones and tailbone up towards the backs of your knees. Press into your inner feet and slowly begin to lift your hips up, engaging your hamstrings, the backs of your thighs, and the buttocks. And as you come up, let the back of your neck lengthen and the front of your throat soften. Let your eyes look towards your heart space and be soft. And breathe here. And observe the hollowing of your abdomen and the firming of the backs of your thighs and buttocks. And then coming down, keep your hips up, broaden your shoulder blades a little bit, and lay your spine down from the top to the bottom, one vertebra at a time, like a chain link necklace. As you get to your lower back, move your hips a little towards your heels so you get a little more length. And when the top of the hips start to come down, you slowly release your pelvis into its neutral forward tilt. Release the gripping of your buttocks. We'll do it 2 more times. So you're going to scoot your shoulder blades under. And as you do that, your hands might get closer to your heels. So make sure you're not touching your heels. Move them out a little if need be. Now press the outer edge of the upper arms down and lift the armpit chest. Let the back of your neck lengthen and the front of your throat soften. Let your eyes look down and don't grit the teeth or the root of the tongue. As you exhale, draw the belly towards the spine and let the hips roll back a little. Observe the sitting bones and tailbone curling up towards the backs of your knees. Press into your inner feet. And as you raise your hips up, let the back of the neck lengthen and the chin come towards the chest and the eyes look towards the chest, and keep the jaw totally relaxed. And observe the firming of the backs of the thighs and the buttocks and the release of the fronts of the thighs, especially at the crease of the groin, the abdomen, the ribs, the chest. Dig into the heels a bit more to roll towards the tops of the shoulders. Keep the breath long and peaceful and smooth. And then coming down, widen the shoulder blades a little, just enough so that you can lay your spine down. Keep your buttocks up. Lay your spine down vertebra by vertebra, top to bottom. Observe the back body. What can you let go of there? What's stuck? Move your hips towards your heels as you come down. And then slowly release your pelvis into its neutral forward tilt. Release the buttocks and the backs of the thighs. One more time, taking the shoulders under so the arms touch the sides of the buttocks, the hands. Make sure you're not so close you can touch your heels. Press the outer arms down and lift the armpit chest. Exhale, draw the belly towards the spine, hips roll back, knees pull in a little. Press into the inner feet, let the sitting bones and tailbone curl up towards the backs of the knees and towards the ceiling as you come up. Engaging your hamstrings and buttocks. So find your tailbone and sitting bones and curl it up even more towards the ceiling and move it towards the backs of your knees. And then take your hamstrings, digging into your heels, and move that towards your sitting bones. And let the back of the neck lengthen, front of the throat soften, eyes be soft, looking towards the heart, jaw, tongue, teeth, throat soft. So the chin is in towards the chest. And then slightly broaden the shoulder blades as you slowly exhale and sink your chest and lay your spine down, sink your waist, move your spine towards your heels. And when the top of the hips come down, you slowly release your buttocks and let your hips roll forward into their neutral forward tilt. Now turn your palms down and lift your shoulders up and roll them towards each other in the front of the body, like we did in the arch and curl. And let your hips roll back, pressing your lower back down, sitting bones, tailbone, curl up. Exhale, sink your ribs, lower ribs down, and lift your head and shoulders up and look at your belly button, Nabhi Darshanam. Let your shoulder blades come apart, right? And sink your chest. Not to use your arms, but you engage the front and release what's holding on in the back. Look at the belly button. Hands are on the ground. Hands are on the ground. Shoulders roll up towards each other. Yep. And then you slowly release your spine down from the middle of your back towards the upper back. And then the head comes down and you release your arms and release the jaw and the throat. And then go ahead and extend your legs one by one and come into Shavasana, anatomical neutral, and observe for a few moments. Remember that neutral means no engagement as much as possible. Observe your breath. So the next pose we'll do is Pavana Muktasana. Roll the inner thighs down so the knees and toes point up. Bring your legs all the way together. Roll your hips back so the sacrum rolls towards the floor. And then bend one knee, place the foot flat. Roll your hips back more so your lower back touches the mat, and bend the other knee, feet together. Now roll your hips back, sitting bones, tailbone curl up, press the lower back down like flatten. Raise your right knee up, interlace your fingers, webbings together. Hold your shin right below your knee. Flex your right foot. Let your right leg fall forward into your hands so it starts to straighten your arms. And then push it forward so your arms really pull back. Shoulders lift up towards each other in the front, like in flatten, and the head tips back. Keep rolling the hips back, sitting bones, tailbone curl up. Press the lower back firmly down and observe how the left foot floats up. And then extend the left leg and lower it down onto the mat slowly, using the front body, releasing the back. Extend the front of the left leg. Now, as you exhale, relax your right buttock and groin and foot and everything. Let your neck come back to neutral. Let your hips roll back towards flatten as you hollow the abdomen, and let your right leg fall in towards your abdomen. And let the top of your hip, especially on the right, come away from the back of your ribs, and let your sitting bone curl up towards the back of your knee as you gently compress your leg into your abdomen and draw the knee up towards the chest. So deflate the flesh like you're squeezing out the water from the sponge. Flex your right foot, extend the front of the left leg and press the inner left leg down. Exhale, sink your waist and ribs down. That means your lower front ribs. And let your head and shoulders curl up like we did in flatten. So the shoulder blades come apart, and not to look up. Let your eyes look towards your knee, and then bring your chin, nose, or forehead towards your inner knee. Remember, let your shoulders roll up to the front of your body so that you release your back and engage your front. Press the left leg down. And then when you're ready to come down, you slowly release your spine down. Once again, vertebra by vertebra. And then release your neck. Chin, jaw, eyes, throat, face. Flex your right foot, firm your left leg, roll your exhale and push your right leg forward till your arms straighten, and roll your hips back. Once again, your head will tip back, shoulders will roll up off the mat. And then your left, as you press your lower back down, your left leg just floats up. Keep it really straight. And then bend the knee, place the foot flat, release your neck and shoulders, and place the right foot flat. And then bring the left leg up. We repeat on the left. Hold the shin just below the knee. Flex the foot. Let your left leg fall forward into your firmly interlaced fingers until your arms start to straighten, and then push it forward. Head tilts back. Arms are really straight and resisting back, and the hips roll back. So you're curling into a little ball in your lower back. Sitting bones, tailbone, curl up. Pressing the lower back down, observe how the right foot gets light, float it up. Extend the right leg a few inches off the ground, and then slowly lower that straight right leg down, extending the front of the leg. As you exhale, relax your whole left leg, buttock, lower back, reach to the groin, and let your neck come back to neutral, and hollow your abdomen and waist, letting your hips roll back towards flatten. Let your left leg fall into your hollow abdomen. And then you start to deflate it like you're squeezing out a sponge. And as you hug it in towards the abdomen, observe the length on the skin of your right leg. Allow that to lengthen. And then draw the knee up towards the chest and flex your left foot. And extend the front of the right leg. Press the inner right leg down. Exhale, sink your waist, sink your lower front ribs. Let your shoulders and head curl up as in flatten. And shoulder blades separate now. And bring your chin, nose, or forehead towards your inner knee. And breathe into your upper back and chest. Right foot extends so that you can firm the right knee and press the back of the right knee down towards the mat. And then inhale and slowly uncurl. And rest the head and the neck. And then exhale, let your left leg fall forward. Push it into your firmly interlaced fingers. Head tips back, hips roll back. Press your lower back firmly down. Keep your right knee firm. Let your right leg float up, and then bend the knee. Place the foot flat, and then release your neck and your left leg. Place the foot flat, extend your arms, and one by one extend your legs and come to Shavasana and rest. Anatomical neutral. Observe your natural breath and just lengthen it a little bit and regulate it as you like, so that you're inhaling for 5 seconds and exhaling for 5 to 7 seconds. So the last floor pose that we do will take us up to sitting, and we start it from Tadagi Mudra. So roll your inner legs down, bring your legs all the way together, extending the front of your legs firm all around your knees, so your knees point straight up. Roll the tailbone up, roll the hips back, and press the roots of the thighs down. Bring your arms along your sides, palms down, fingers together, firm your elbows. Exhale, sink your waist, and then inhale, raise your firm arms up over your head, keeping your arms shoulder width or wider, and broaden the top edge of the shoulder blades as the back of the neck lengthens and softens. Firm the triceps and armpits in towards each other as you resist the forearms away just enough so your elbows are straight, wrists are not hard and locked, but they're straight, and the fingers are all the way together, including the thumbs, and they're straight and extended without hardening. And then take the legs and hips away from the ribs, take the ribs away from the hips, including the arms, and get a little more space between your hips and ribs, and hollow your waist as you exhale. So Supta Vajrasana, we're taking the legs off the ground all the way. So you're going to really sink your waist and roll your hips back towards flat, and sitting bones, tailbone, curl up, and sink your lower front ribs so your shoulder blades draw down your back, and bend one knee off the ground and keep the foot flexed and knee towards the chest, and then roll the hips back more, press the lower back down, and then take the other leg up. And cross the feet at the ankles, flex the feet, hook the feet, pull the knees wide apart, and widen your pelvic floor and your inner thighs. So you're doing an isometric contraction in your pelvic floor. And then let your knees come down towards the sides of the body, keeping the arms overhead and extended. And let your eyes look down, not up, so that the back of the neck is long and the front of the throat is soft, jaw is soft, and tongue, teeth, and root of the tongue. And then change the cross of your feet, flex, pull the knees apart, widen the inner thighs, the pelvic floor, let the neck lengthen, jaw soften, and the eyes look down. And let the knees fall towards the sides of the body. So release what's holding on in the back body as you engage the front. And then inhale, raise your firm arms up, and exhale, wrap your arms around your legs. You can bring your knees close in towards each other, keeping the feet crossed at the ankles. Just relax the feet. And then widen the diaphragm in the lower front ribs, lifting it up off the hips, so you have more space for your abdomen. And let that all hollow and soften towards the back body, like Uddiyana, and hug the knees in. And then change the cross. And again, hug and deflate your legs, hollow your abdomen, and let your neck and throat be soft. And then to come up to sitting, you raise your legs up about halfway, keeping the feet crossed at the ankles, and flex the feet, hook the feet. Now exhale, sink your waist and lower front ribs, and observe how your head just curls up off the mat, and allow that to happen. It means let go of the shoulder blades in the back, right, and the lower back. And then you can swing your feet up a little towards your head, so your tailbone comes up, and then you keep your chin in and you roll up. So you're working towards no sound, right? So it's soft and easy, and you're really paying attention, like we do in somatics, releasing the back as you engage the front in order to come up. Okay, so now we're sitting. So we're going to do the breathing sitting. So take whatever support you need so you're super, super comfortable. Means, your hips should be higher than your knees. So take 2 blankets to sit on. You might want to have softness under your feet and ankles. So you grab 2 more blankets maybe. You can also do this sitting like in Virasana on a couple of blocks or sitting in a chair, um, you know, but the idea is to sit upright and use your torso muscles to maintain your posture. So that means your legs have to support your pelvis. So they have to be flexible, basically. So when you cross your legs, cross at the center of your shins as best you're able. And let your knees rest on your feet, right? So instead of tucking your feet way back, right? Move your feet more forward, walk your feet apart so you're crossing more at the center of your shin, and then relax your feet and let your knees rest on your feet. Yeah, so see how you're crossing here? So walk your feet away from each other. So your feet walk away. Yes, like that. Yes. Don't pull them in. Just let them rest where they are. And don't, yeah, like that. So now you can use that other blanket. You can have it under your feet. You can tuck it between your knees and feet, right? So that your knees can rest down, right? Yeah. And you can put it in between your foot and you can see how much height you really need, right? And then you want to lift remember, you have one hand on the inside, one hand on the outside. Roll the front thigh in, roll the back thigh out. As you do that, observe your pelvic floor, broaden your pelvic floor and roll towards the forward edge of your sitting bones and towards your pubic bone, drawing your sacrum in and up. Then you want to end up with your ribs over your hips, shoulders over your ribs and hips, and drawing your chin back, ears over your shoulders, over your ribs, over your hips. Hands rest on your thighs so that your elbows are more or less under your shoulders. Then we're going to take some hand positions here, taking the chin a little down and the eyes, right? And when you do that, it's not a lot, right? So find a neutral. So the base of the skull lifts up a little. So those are all eye muscles back here. And the connective tissue for both the front and back line intersect at the occiput. So sort of release that grip there. So the back of the neck is long like a swan. Rest the tongue on the roof of the mouth, just behind the teeth. Let it be soft. And then open up the back of your nasal passages so that you can breathe freely, like you're smelling something delicious. Let your hands be super soft. Yeah. So you need more height under your hips. So take one of those blankets and put it under your hips. So you have 3 blankets you're sitting on. Just like, no, lift. You have to start all of the way over. Sit up, get it under you, and I'll show you what to do with the other blanket. Okay. So it's very important, the sitting posture, right? So you want to make sure that you're not leaning forward, right? Shoulders are over the hips, and that you're super comfortable. So go ahead and sit on those 3 blankets. Yeah. And then we're breathing through the nose, in and out through the nose. The nose hairs filter the air, they warm the air and moisten the air, breathing through the nose, right? So, and also the hairs in the nose, when we breathe slowly, those are what tells the nervous system, lift your feet, that everything's okay and we can relax, right? So, okay. And then do this. Yeah. Yeah, observe that. Yeah. Now, is it okay? Okay, good. Okay, tuck the chin a little and then settle into your seat. So don't try to lift up out of gravity and let your thighs release down. Don't engage your inner thighs. Release your inner thighs. Tuck your chin down a little now. Yeah. So rather the head falls a little down than back, right? Let your eyes in your internal gaze look in your heart space. Okay. So the first pose that we're going to take is hands on the abdomen. So we're going to do the same 3-part breathing. And when you take your hands onto your abdomen, you're going to have one hand on top of the other, right on your belly button. Let your elbows release down. And as you inhale, you're going to observe how the belly moves into your hands. And as you exhale, you're going to observe how the belly moves away from your hands towards the spine. So just keep your hands where they are and let your belly move back and forth. Okay, if that's comfortable for you. Okay, and again, we're going to match the breath to the tone. For 5. So go ahead and exhale, and then we'll begin. Inhale, the belly moves out. Exhale, the belly moves in towards the spine, away from the hands. Inhale, feel the belly pushing into the hands and the lower ribs expanding. Just focus on the belly, not the chest. Focus on the belly. Inhale, exhale. Exhale, belly in. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Simply matching your breath to the toe. Inhaling for 5, 3, 2, 1. Slow it down. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Exhale. Just let it be easy and smooth, even. Inhaling, smelling something delicious. Exhaling, trying not to ruffle that feather under your nose. Inhale. Exhale. Now rest your hands on your thighs and return to your natural breath and observe. So if you're not comfortable in your posture, you can make adjustments. A big part of doing the asana practice is to make us comfortable, right? To sit. Yeah. Good. So that's so that we can do pranayama and then pratyahara, withdrawal of the senses, and then meditation. So I'm going to have Natalie do this again. Really move the whole back thigh this way, right? So that you can roll to the forward edge of your sitting bones more. And do it from your thighs. Yeah. So not your buttocks. No, the other way. Other way. Yes. Both thighs that way. Yes. Observe how that broadens the back of the thighs and the pelvic floor. Yeah. Okay. Good. So the second one, you're going to bring your hands on your ribs, right? So and walk your hands up towards your under your brow line. So the heels of the hands on the outer ribs. You can also turn your thumbs back, right, and then rest your hands down. Or you could have one hand on the front and one hand on the back of the ribs, like that. Okay. So that might be uncomfortable for your shoulders. So find what works best for your shoulders. Okay. And once again, you're just going to inhale and observe the widening of the ribs, and exhale, observe how the ribs come in towards the spine and towards each other. Okay, so go ahead and exhale, and then we'll begin. Inhale, feel the ribs widening. Exhale as you feel the ribs gently and softly coming in. Let it be easy. Remember that inhale, the belly is still moving in the diaphragm. Don't worry about that. Just focus on the thoracic breath. Rest your hands. Let your breath come to its natural rhythm and observe. Check your posture. So the last one we'll do is the 3 parts of the breath. We won't do the top chest, but it'll be part of the 3-part breath, right? So you're gonna bring one hand on your belly button and one hand on your chest, right? And that now they can be more in the middle. And you can just rest your arms down and relax your hands and self-soothe. Spread your fingers, soften the skin, soften the bones and the flesh. And you're gonna observe, inhale belly, ribs, chest and upper back. Exhale, chest and upper back, ribs and belly. 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out for 2 minutes. Go ahead and exhale, and we'll begin. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, belly, ribs, chest and upper back. Exhale, chest and upper back, ribs and belly. Let it be easy. Inhaling for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhaling for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Soft hands. Inhale. Observe the breath inside you. And just let the exhale be a slow release like we do in somatics. Inhale, smelling something delicious. Open up the back of the nasal passages. Exhale, try not to ruffle that feather right under your nostrils. Simply matching your breath to the tone. See if you can feel it in the side and back as well. As you inhale, check your posture. Maintain the lift of the posture as you exhale. Relax your shoulders, your neck, your eyes, your face, whatever's overworking. Inhale. Exhale. Relax what's overworking. Inhale, welcome the breath. And then like a yawn, slowly release. 2 more breaths like this. Release your hands down to your thighs. Observe your natural breath. We'll do some single nostril and alternate nostril breathing. And when we do this, you can go ahead and extend your legs if you like, and rest your legs, or if you're comfortable, you can stay sitting. We're still doing resonance breathing. Resonance breathing simply means resonating with the parasympathetic nervous system, which is taking us out of fight, flight, freeze into rest, digest, and ease. And the way it happens is the nostrils observe that slow breathing, and the hairs are part of the nervous system, and that suggests to the nervous system, it's called bottom up. Everything is okay. I'm breathing slowly. I can relax. Top down would be telling the nervous system I'm okay. Okay. So when you direct the using the body, somatics directly affect the nervous system also. It says, I'm okay, right? I can release my body armor. So the physical body is the trauma body, right? That's where we hold our trauma and diseases. So, so we're just doing resonance breathing through one side, then the other side, and then we'll alternate. So the difficult part is the mudra. So when you hold the mudra, the seal with your hands, try to keep the hands as relaxed as possible, especially the wrist and the shoulder. Okay. So the left hand, you're always going to use your right hand, okay, to hold the nostrils. So the left hand rests in chin or Gyan mudra, index finger and thumb touch. Palm can be up or down. So the right hand is the one we're using. So you curl the fingers into the palm, and then you're going to keep your first two fingers curled in and lightly uncurl your ring and pinky finger, and then bend them at the knuckles, and you'll see your ring finger is longer than your pinky, so it bends more. The tips are even, and it's like you're resting your ring finger on top of your pinky finger, like you're holding a mug, right? Bend the knuckles, bend, yeah. Yeah, and you have to bend the ring finger more because it's taller, right? And then bend your thumb. Now turn your wrist so it faces your face. It's your other hand, right hand. I'm not mirroring you because that would just throw me out. Okay, so your ring and pinky finger up, and your index and middle down. Yeah, and let it be soft, and make a little curl so your thumb and your ring and pinky come together. Yeah, right. And then you're gonna find your nose and bring your ring and pinky finger on the left side and your thumb on the right, and let it be super relaxed. Hold the bone of your nose softly, go up between your eyes. Yeah, now slide down, and just below the bone, that's the opening to the nasal passages. So just lightly touch your thumb to the right side of your nostril, right? And then you're going to breathe in and out through your left, okay? So your armpit is not super squeezed and it's not super lifted. So you find that right placement. So your shoulder isn't gripped up and you're not pulling yourself over to the right. So let your wrist be soft. And you're just going to block your right nostril with your thumb and breathe in and out through your left nostril. Now, if your left nostril is clogged, you can pull the skin on the cheek a little out to the side. You can pull the nostril out. You can cheat a little by breathing through the right or through your nose if you have to. Okay. I mean, through your mouth. So let your hand rest for a moment. Okay, so you'll get tense when you do this. So then you want to relax. And also, if your arm gets tired, you can make a fist with your left hand, bring it under your right armpit, and that'll be, but don't crimp, right? Try to keep the chest open, right? And the upper back so you can breathe freely. Okay, left hand rests on the knee. Right hand, you're going to curl the fingers into the palm, uncurl the ring and pinky finger, and make that. So remember, you're just resting your two fingers there, and your thumb is blocking your right nostril just below the bone. Let it be easy. Check your posture. Exhale, and then we'll begin. Inhaling through the left nostril. Exhaling through the left nostril. Just stay on the left side. Inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, belly, ribs, chest, and upper back. Exhale, chest and upper back, ribs, belly. Inhale like you're smelling something delicious, the back of your nasal passages. Exhale, you're trying not to ruffle a feather under your nostril. Inhale. Exhale, matching your breath to the tone. Inhale. Inhale. Exhale. Matching your breath to the tone. As you inhale, check your posture. Don't overdo it. As you exhale, relax what's overdoing and maintain your posture. Inhale, it's effortless, it's easy, it's peaceful. Exhale, relax your right shoulder and center your head. Inhale. Exhale. Just one more breath like this. And then rest your hand down. Let go of your mudras and let your hands relax. And let go of the conditioning of your breath. And observe your natural breath. And observe your posture. Maybe your right shoulder needs to relax a bit more, right? So find that ease. This is called Sukhasana, this posture. You're sitting in Sukha means ease, easy pose. Okay, so when we breathe through the right nostril, after blocking the left nostril, you might find your left nostril is, after blocking your right nostril, you might find it's more open now, okay? So now we're gonna breathe through the right nostril. So, still you use your right hand. Curl the fingers into the palm, uncurl the ring and pinky, but bend them into a little claw, so your thumb tip touches your ring and pinky fingertips. touch your tips, and then relax your hand and bring your hand to your face. Now find the bone and slide down. Now your ring finger is going to close the left nostril. It's just resting on your pinky finger. Your wrist is relaxed in front of your face, right? Relax your arm and shoulder, and you're going to breathe only through the right. Exhale, and then we'll begin. Inhale on the right. Exhale on the right. Okay, we're just staying on the right side. Inhale. Exhale. Match the breath to the tone. Inhaling for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhaling for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, belly, ribs, chest and upper back. Exhale, chest and upper back, ribs and belly. Inhale. Exhale. Let it be easy. Simply slowing the breath a little bit and observing the breath inside your body. Still doing resonance breathing. Inhale, smelling something delicious. Exhale, try not to ruffle that feather. Don't worry if you get it right, just observe. Keep your mind focused on the breath. Inhale, you can just sort of check your posture, let it be subtle. Exhale, make sure you're not overdoing. Relax a little bit. Inhale. And exhale. And just 2 more breaths like this. Okay, rest your hand down, relax your hands, relax your breath, and observe your natural breath. So for alternate nostril breathing, it's the same thing. We're just doing resonance breathing. We're just alternating which nostril we're breathing through. FYI, you can do all this, single nostril and alternate nostril, without hands, just using your intention. Not perfect, right? But you can control the breath that way. I do that often in the morning before I get up, just to see how much I can do, right? So it's an interesting exploration. And it makes it more subtle. So we're making it more and more subtle so that it's more and more about the bioelectric magnetic energy in the body, which the breath stimulates, right? And less about the gross breath. But first we have to get used to that part, okay? So, same mudra, left hand rests on the knee, palm up or down, index finger, thumb touch. Right hand, curl the fingers in, uncurl the ring and pinky, bend all those knuckles. So your index finger and thumb curl, your index and middle, yeah, there you go. Touch the tips of your ring and pinky and your thumb. Come to your nose, relax your hand, relax your wrist, so your wrist isn't crimped. Just let it drop, let your hand drop a little bit in front of your face, right? And then slide down your nose, and then don't push too hard. Tips of the fingers, so you bend the knuckles, ideally the tips, and you press your thumb into your right nostril, and then we're going to start on the left. I'll talk you through. Exhale, and we'll begin. So you're going to inhale on the left, then block the left and exhale on the right. And then you stay on that side. Inhale on the right, block the right, exhale on the left. That's 1 round. Stay on that side to start the second round. Inhale left, exhale right. Inhale, stay on that as you inhale and continue. Let it be subtle and easy, relax. Rest your hand, both your hands. Rest your breath and observe. Okay, so today we'll add in some very easy Kapalabhati, okay, and then Shavasana. Is not a breathing exercise per se, it's a kriya, a cleansing technique for the nasal passages. It means shining skull or shining forehead because it brings the energy to the brain. And the idea is to clean the nasal passages, but it also stimulates your energy quite nicely. It can be aggravating for some, especially if you have high blood pressure and so on. So we're not going to do any breath retention, and we're just doing 10 pumpings, super slow. So it's like you're trying to get a gnat out of your nostrils, right? Or a sneezing or blowing your nose, actually, not sneezing, right? So it's just, let's see if you can just inhale and then a forceful, sharp exhale through your nose. That's it. Yeah. So if you need a tissue, I can give you a tissue. I'll give you tissues. Okay. It's the season. So you can have a tissue, and that way you can blow your nose if needed. Oh, it's always good. Never know. Okay. So super easy, super slow, 10 pumpings. Okay. So just inhale and exhale, natural breath. Okay. Inhale for 5 seconds. Exhale for 5 seconds. One more time like that. Inhale and exhale. Now inhale comfortably and we'll begin. Inhale and begin. Low. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale for 5 seconds. Exhale for 5 seconds. Inhale. Exhale. Let it be so relaxed. Make sure after you expel the air, you relax your abdomen so your air can come in again. That's why we're doing it slow. Okay, 10 pumpings. Inhale and begin. Easier, subtler. Last one. Inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, smelling something delicious. Exhale, try not to ruffle that feather. Inhaling for 5. Exhaling for 5. Last round of Kapalabhati. Inhale comfortably. Make it super subtle and easy and begin. And then inhaling for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhaling for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, smelling something delicious. Exhale, try not to ruffle that feather. Let it be smooth and subtle. Inhaling for 5. Exhaling for 5. Sit quietly for a few moments. And then let your eyes float open and come down on your back and rest in Shavasana for final relaxation. You can take any support you like or no support. Can take an eye pillow if you like, blanket over you. Come to anatomical neutral and observe. And let your body totally relax in that shape. So make sure you have space for your arms and your legs. And go ahead and flex your feet, push out through your heels and roll your knees and toes up. And then open the backs of your knees as you do that. So press the backs of the knees down. Yeah, and get long. Yeah, and then slowly release and let go, right? And relax the arms, hands, and fingers too. Let the shoulder blades spread. Find evenness in the sides. Soften the skin and observe the skin throughout your whole body. And then the superficial fascia under the skin, that slidey, glidey bit. And then like the layers of an onion, you go deeper, right? So find your feet and soften the skin of the feet and the toes and the space between the base knuckles of the toes. And then the knuckles and the middles of the toes and the tips of the toes. Sensitize the skin and the flesh. Tops of the feet, the tendons, ligaments, bones, the backs of the ankles, the Achilles tendons, and the front of the ankles, stomach 41, important energy point, and the inner and the outer ankles, creating space in the ankle joints. Two bones of the lower legs from the outer ankles to the outer knees and from the inner ankles to the inner knees, create space in the front, the shins and the back, the calves. Let that flesh spread and soften and moisten like that wet sponge. Let the juices flow, the rasa, the lymph, the rakta, the blood, and the nervous system energy, the prana. Backs of the knees soft, fronts of the knees soft, inner knees and outer knees soft, creating space for the juice to flow in the joint capsule of the knee. Soften the skin and flesh of the thighs, tops of the thighs and the backs of the thighs, the outer thighs and the inner thighs. Release their grip on the bone, the big, heavy femur bones, biggest bones in the body. Pelvic floor from the tailbone to the pubic and the inner thighs at the tops. Create space. The roots of the thighs at the crease of the groin in the front and the outer hip area and the backs of the thighs and the inner thighs. And that's all earth element, Muladhara chakra, root support, foundation. Then the pelvic bowl is water, Swadhisthana chakra, the sacral center, the sweet spot, sacred home of the self. More fluid than earth, it's a bowl of water. So from the belly button down to the bottom of the pelvis, soften the abdomen, lower back, sacrum and tail, outer hips, buttocks, and let that be fluid. All the organs of procreation, downward flowing energy, connectivity, fluidity, flexibility, creativity. And then above the belly button to the bottom of the ribs in the front side and back, Manipura chakra, city of jewels, center of the body, physically, our willpower, sense of self, fire element. Let the fire in the belly spread all the organs of digestion, assimilation, and some of the elimination is there as well. Let there be fire in the belly, Agni, digestive fire. And then the rib basket, 37 joints of the rib basket, sternum, collarbones, shoulder blades, the whole top chest area, air element, Anahata chakra, heart center, connected to the arms, hands, and fingers. Vyana Vayu, that's part of the prana that circulates energy throughout the whole body. This is the energetic center of the body. Let that energy flow freely. The flywheel of the prana, of the breath, moves the prana, the lymph, the blood, the nervous system. Soften the armpits, shoulders, upper arms, and the elbows, forearms, and the wrists. Sensitize the skin of the palms and the tops of the hands. Create space in all those little bony parts of the wrists and the hands and the fingers and the thumbs. Tops of the shoulders, right and left. Right side of the neck, left side of the neck. Front of the throat, back of the neck. Base of the skull. Let the ears descend towards the back of the head and soften the hinge of the jaw. Let it fall away from the top, creating space in the mouth. Relax the molars and the root of the tongue, the teeth. Vishuddha chakra, associated with the element of space, akasha, ether, especially pure place. Communication center, associated with hearing and speaking and self-expression. And then beyond the elements, beyond the senses, is the third eye center associated with the mind. Soften the inner corners of the eyes and the outer corners of the eyes. Let the eyes be soft and look towards the heart space. Let the front of the brain descend towards the back of the brain and the back of the brain descend towards the back of the head. And relax the brain and the nervous system. And you can imagine that your forehead is a very large eye, and allow your eyelid to softly close and relax your mind. Your third eye center between the eyebrows and a little up is associated with the mind, which is the sixth sense, which takes in all the information from the other five senses and creates the entire universe from that. Relax the mind. Relax the stories, the thoughts, the concepts, the emotions and the feelings, and go beyond to the top of the skull, Sahasrara chakra, the crown, infinitely petaled lotus, wide open, and connect to that universal energy which is beyond concepts, infinite awareness, consciousness, peace, and bliss. And be that for a few moments. And from that ocean of awareness, consciousness, peace, and bliss, find your way back into your body and sense and feel your body and the skin and the flesh and the bones and the nervous system, the blood and the lymph, the thoughts and the feelings, the emotions, and coming back into your intellect, thoughts and concepts and feelings. Come back to your breath and allow the flywheel of your breath to slowly begin to lengthen and deepen and move with it your awareness throughout your whole body, spreading your awareness evenly throughout all the sensations, pleasant, unpleasant, and neutral, the vast majority being neutral. Welcome the breath. And then begin to gently wiggle your fingers and toes if you like. You can roll your wrists and ankles to wake up your extremities. And then when you're ready, if you like, you can bend your elbows one by one and bring your hands back to your abdomen and pause there and observe your abdominal breath, your natural breath. And you can allow the breath to lengthen and deepen if you like. And then when you feel ready in that lazy ragdoll method, you can draw your knees up one by one and do a little rocking back and forth on the sacrum. Bring your hands to your lower belly and let your lower belly hollow and spread and let your lower back release towards the floor. Take another couple of breaths. And when you feel ready, roll over onto your side and rest there for a couple of breaths. Nice and soft and easy, soft back, relaxed feet and legs. Observe your breath in this position. When you're ready to come up, pull your waist in, use your arms, let your head fall down towards the floor, and then walk yourself up, pulling your waist in, and your head is the last to come up. Come to sitting for a moment. Sit comfortably and close your eyes and center yourself, or if you prefer your eyes open, that's fine too. Check your posture and drop down into your seat and be very mindful of the heaviness of your pelvis and your legs, the earth element. And then the pelvis has a little water, fluidity, and movement just above the base of the pelvis, and the fire in the belly, and the air and the movement of the breath in your rib basket and chest and arms and hands and fingers. And then in your throat, there's space for listening and speaking, expressing and connecting. And then in the head, a balance of intuition and intellect and peace and wide open, spacious awareness and bliss and universal consciousness. And then let your eyelids gently float open. Namaste. Thank you.